and bring up my sheet that I'm going to share with you. So, Judges chapter 7 was all about Gideon, and which is important to understand who Gideon is. I know most people of the denomination, non denominational religious systems only think of Gideon with the 300 men, but so much more to learn about Gideon. He was filled with the Holy Spirit, and he also judged the people of Jehovah through that. So, my key points so forward, that Israel actually asked Gideon and his sons to rule over them. So, they were asking for his family to be the kingship over them. And of course, Gideon refused to rule over Jehovah's people because he was fully aware that Jehovah the king is the ruler and he's still there for them. Because there's no way that Gideon would have been able to defeat the Midianites or the men of the east with 300 men against thousands of men. There's no way that would have been able to happen without the king who made that happen for them. Now, the disturbing thing that I found at the end, towards after the battle, that Gideon was asking for the jury of the people of the east and the Midianites that they had defeated, which was more like the Israelites. They kind of intertwined those Israelites and Midianites, which we learned also in the Torah studies. So join me on Tuesday so you can get that understanding. But Gideon made an ephod um, as if he was the high priest. Now, we do know that the high priest only comes from the blood of Aaron. This earthly ministry of the high priest is from the bloodline of Aaron. And we know Gideon is from the tribe of Manasseh, so he would not qualify as a high priest. And we know that the tabernacle was at Shiloh, so there's the high priest is there. So Gideon was most definitely had created a snare for his family and also for the children of Israel because they began to worship that. So that was an issue that came out of Judges chapter 8. Now, my insight was, so far we are reading, and we're just in chapter 8. Today we'll be in chapter 9, but the people of Jehovah lack the ability to govern themselves by the word of Jehovah without someone governing him. So they struggle with just following his commandments and willing to prostitute themselves and serve other gods and turn away from the ways of Jehovah and follow their own ways. It's much easier for the human flesh to go against the word of Jehovah than to stand on the word of Jehovah. This is one of the number one reasons why we do need the Holy Spirit. Now, my question, and it still stands, and I think we spoke about this in Judges chapter 3 and maybe 5. Where are the priests? So far, we have not read anything about the Levites or the priests who are the teachers of the word of Jehovah. And you would think that they would be standing up because they are the ones supposed to be teaching the people on how to walk out the commandments of Jehovah. And again, you see my cross reference, and the only word study we had was unbraided.